Today we are going to add the primary colors to our Lichtenstein Landscape. As you can see, we are going to paint each section a different primary color, leaving a few of them white. So today you will be using tempera cakes, which are a mix of watercolor and tempera. You will get to choose between two paintbrushes. You can use a smaller paintbrush, the same one that we used for the beginning of tracing our black lines, or you can use a thicker brush, or you can use a combination of the two. For example, in this small cloud, maybe I'll use the smaller one, but in my big sun, maybe I'll use the bigger brush. Then you will also have a cup of water. So to start, I think I'm going to use my bigger brush, and I'm going to make my sun yellow. Now you could make your sun any color you want, but I'm going to start by dipping in the water and going in my yellow. Now it looks like I don't have a lot of yellow, but I actually do. I have plenty of yellow, but I want to make sure that I also have plenty of paint. We don't want the paints to look transparent like watercolors. We want them to be more opaque, more solid, so you cannot see the paper underneath. So I'm making sure I have plenty of paint. Then I'm going to go ahead. Paint does look pretty solid. I'm going to paint my sun. Taking my time, and I'm trying not to go on the black lines. If you do a little bit, that's alright, but I'm trying my best to stay outside those lines. Then I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit more water, get a little more yellow, and repeat. We want to repeat the primary colors. And I want them spread out and balanced on my artwork. So that means if I have one here, maybe I'll do one over in this part, this hill. Making sure I'm using plenty of paint. You can always get more paint. Taking my time. Now again, for balance, since I have one over here, maybe I want one somewhere up here. I'm going to grab more water, even more paint. I'm going to paint the ray of my sun, one of them. I'm going to rinse my brush, and I'm going to get another primary color. Now you want to make sure with my primary colors, red, blue, and yellow. You also see orange, violet, and green. We are not using those today. Those are secondary colors. So make sure you don't accidentally grab one of those. I'm going to go for my red. Plenty of paint, plenty of water. And I'm going to paint a few of my sections in my landscape with red. Now that looks a little transparent, kind of like watercolor, so I'm going to make sure that I get even more paint so it looks more like tempera paint, not watercolor. Again, I want to keep my artwork balanced, so I chose a place up there. Now I want to do one or two down in this area. A little bit more water, a little bit more paint. I'm going to paint that section. Go ahead and do another one. I might even do a cloud, a red cloud. But I'm going to continue this until all my shapes are full, except for maybe 1, 2, 3 white ones. Then I can go ahead and rinse, and I'm going to go ahead and get blue. Plenty of blue. And I can go ahead and paint up. And that does again look pretty transparent. Looks like a watercolor, which means I need more paint. I want it to be really nice and dark blue, like that. So you are going to continue this process painting around, keeping balance. So if you have a red here, you want a red here. If you have a yellow here, you want a yellow here. Keeping it balanced until your artwork, your landscape is completely filled with colors, with primary colors. And you will notice that I left 1, 2, 3, 4 shapes white. That is the most you can leave, 4. So go ahead and start painting those primary colors. The final step for this project is to add lots of dots, using again the primary colors, just like Roy Lichtenstein. You can see that I did red over white, yellow over red, white over blue, blue over white, lots of different combinations, but I never did the same color on top of each other. So that means I didn't go blue over blue paint, or yellow over yellow paint. So they really stand out. So today what you're going to need is you're going to need your artwork. You're going to need a paper towel. You're going to need the end of a paintbrush to do the dots. And we are going to be using tempera paint today. We're going to be using blue, white, red, and of course yellow. Now you will be sharing these with people at your table, so maybe you can take turns on who's using what color. Now I'm going to start, and I'm going to use the flat circle part of the end of my brush. And I'm going to start, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this white area right here with red. So I'm going to dip my brush in the red paint and start making dots. Now you will notice that I have to dip my dots or my brush in a lot. Make sure I have plenty of paint. You don't want to be making half circles. It's always better to get plenty of paint than not have enough. Now I filled that shape up pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and start another one. Now I don't want to go on red, so maybe I'll do it on top of the yellow ray, sun here. Making sure I have plenty of paint. Notice I'm going pretty fast here. I don't want to go too fast, but I can go pretty fast. Trying to make really nice dots. Again, I need more paint. Now you can see some of my dots are starting to get a little messy. So what I need to do is I need to wipe this off with my paper towel. So I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm just going to wipe that red off the best that I can. We don't need to rinse it underwater. I'm just going to wipe it off. Now I'm ready for a second primary color. So I'm going to go ahead and start with, do my second color with yellow. I'm going to go ahead and do yellow right on top of this blue. Again, making sure I'm getting plenty of paint. Taking my time, putting dots everywhere, making sure it's balanced. You are going to do this until almost all of your shapes are full with dots. Make sure that you are sharing these colors, these 4 colors, with the people at your table. You're putting it in a place where a few of you can reach it. The closer you have it to you, the easier, so maybe you each want to do one color and rotate. I'm going to rinse it off. I can get another color, or I can repeat yellow. But again, you're going to do this until your entire landscape is full with dots. You will notice that I did leave a few areas blank, and that is okay. Leave probably about 4 or 5 blank.